London was gray and foggy. Dr. Watson felt sad and lonely after coming home from the war. He wanted a friend and a place to live. One day, Watson met Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock was clever and saw tiny details no one else noticed. They decided to share a home at 221B Baker Street. Soon, Watson learned Sherlock was very unusual but amazing. One night, a policeman named Mr. Lestrade came knocking loudly. He looked worried. "Sherlock, please help," said Lestrade. "We found a man from America dead in a locked room. It's very strange." Sherlock nodded, excited to solve the mystery. Watson followed Sherlock to the room. Inside, they saw the dead man, Mr. Drebber, who looked scared. On the wall, written in red, was the word rake. "Look here," Sherlock said, pointing to the red dirt, "and hear a strange smell like bitter nuts." "What does it mean?" Watson asked. Sherlock smiled a little. "It means the game is on." Only a few days had passed since Mr. Drebber's strange death. Then it happened again. A second man was found dead. His name was Mr. Stangerson. He had been stabbed in the chest while sleeping in his hotel room. The door was locked from the inside. Inspector Lestrade rushed to 221B Baker Street. "Sherlock, another murder. Another American? This is serious." Sherlock's eyes lit up. "This is no accident," he said. "These men are being hunted, one by one." Watson felt a chill. "But why are they being killed?" "We're dealing with someone clever and patient," Sherlock replied. Without wasting time, Sherlock grabbed his coat. "Come, Watson. Let's visit the scene." They arrived at the hotel just as the sun was rising. The narrow hallway smelled of dust and old carpet. Inside, the room was dim and cold. Stangerson lay on the bed, eyes wide open, a wound on his chest. His hand clutched. A torn piece of paper, a broken glass lay on the floor. Sherlock moved silently, his eyes scanning every corner. "Stabbed," he murmured. "Some things are out of place. The torn paper, the glass. Maybe he struggled just for a moment." Watson stood at the doorway watching. "The window is shut," Sherlock noted, testing it gently. "And the door was locked from the inside?" Lestrade nodded. "We had to break it open." Later that evening, Sherlock returned to the room where Mr. Drebber had died. The windows were shut. The door was locked from the inside. "Strange," Watson whispered. "How did the killer escape?" Sherlock knelt by the window and smiled. "Simple. Look here. This window locks when it's slammed from outside. It's an old trick." Watson blinked. "So, he left through the window?" "Yes." Sherlock nodded. He climbed out, pulled the window shut. It locked behind him. Then he used a key to lock the door from outside and vanished into the night. Watson stared in awe. It really was a locked room, but not an impossible one. Back at Baker Street, Sherlock sat at his desk and wrote a short message. He handed it to a young messenger boy. "Take this to the newspaper." Watson read the note aloud.
"Seeking witnesses to recent events. Discretion guaranteed."
He looked at Sherlock. "Do you think someone will respond?" Sherlock lit his pipe. "Perhaps. If not, we'll speak more directly next time." The fog in London grew thicker. So did the mystery. Sherlock worked day and night. He barely slept. He barely ate. Then, he found something. "Watson!" he cried, holding up a shoe taken from Drebber's body. "Look at this. Red soil. Stuck. Deep in the heel." Watson leaned in. "Red dirt?" Sherlock nodded, then took out a small jar. I collected some from the crime scene. It matches perfectly. He flipped open a map. Both Drebber and Stangerson once lived in Utah, America. That region is known for this kind of red earth. Watson frowned. So that connects them. Sherlock pointed to the word on the wall at the first murder scene, Raish. At first, I thought it was a woman's name, Rachel, he said, but Raish is German. It means revenge. Watson shivered. Someone's getting revenge for what happened in Utah? Yes, Sherlock said. Something happened long ago, and someone has waited years to answer back. They walked the streets, questioning cab drivers about any American passengers. At home, Watson studied books about Utah, its deserts, its strict religious life, its buried secrets. One evening, Watson closed his book. Sherlock, do you think the killer was once a victim? Sherlock looked into the fire, deep in thought. Yes, he said softly. This isn't just a murder. This is a broken heart, returning from the past to set things right. Sherlock stood by the window. His eyes were sharp with thought. The killer knows we're getting close, he said. He's watching. Watson looked surprised. Watching us? How do you know? Sherlock turned slightly. Because the message he left, Reika was rushed and bold. He wanted to scare us, but also challenge us. And yesterday, someone followed me down Baker Street. He was careful, but not careful enough. Watson's face grew serious. Then how do we find him? We don't, Sherlock said, smiling slightly. He'll come to us. Sherlock sat down and wrote a short note. He picked each word carefully. Then he handed it to a young messenger. Put this in the newspaper, he said.
To the man who drives the grey cab with cracked rear wheels. I know what happened in Utah. Come to 221B Baker Street. I want to understand. I will listen.
Watson read the note and raised an eyebrow. You think he'll really come? Yes, said Sherlock. He's been hiding for years, but now someone sees him. That message isn't bait, it's a door. Watson stared at him. But Sherlock, how did you know? About the gray cab and the cracked wheel? Sherlock turned to him and answered simply, I watched the road near the murder scene. There was a red mark on the stones. Only one cab left that mark. Its rear wheel wobbled with every turn. He paused. Also, a shopkeeper nearby saw a pale man stepping into that cab and said the wheel looked broken. Watson gave a low whistle. You never miss a thing. The next morning, a cab stopped outside. A man stepped out. Thin, pale, gray beard, tired eyes. He wore worn-out clothes. He walked into the room and looked at Sherlock. I got your message, he said. You said you knew about Utah. Sherlock nodded. Please come in. Mr. Jefferson Hope. Watson turned in surprise. He whispered, how does he know the man's name? Jefferson Hope sat down slowly, as if his legs could no longer hold him. I suppose you already know everything, he said quietly. Not everything, Sherlock replied, but I'd like to hear it from you. Hope looked down. His hands trembled slightly. Years ago, he began, I loved a girl named Lucy Ferrier. She was the kindest person I had ever known. He paused. Her father and I tried to protect her, but two men, Drebber and Stangerson, wanted her for themselves. They were part of a powerful religious group. They threatened Lucy's father. They gave him no choice. Drebber forced Lucy to marry him. Stangerson helped. He guarded her, trapped her. Hope's voice broke. She died soon after, heartbroken, terrified. Her father was already gone. I lost everything. Watson sat in silence. Hope went on. I chased them across the world. I waited for the right time. When I found Drebber, I offered him a choice. 2 pills. One was poison. One was not. He picked the wrong one. And Stangerson? Sherlock asked. He fought. I didn't want to kill him that way, but he gave me no choice. Hope looked at them with weary eyes. I didn't come here to escape. I came because someone finally understood. The next morning, Jefferson Hope was found dead in his cell. His heart had given out. Watson looked down. He broke the law, but he broke inside long ago. Sherlock nodded. He turned to Watson. You asked how I knew his name? I saw it in old army records from Utah. Then I checked the cab company. Only one new driver. Came from America. Jefferson Hope. Amazing. There are more stories like this, Watson. London is full of them. Watson smiled. Then, let's find them. Together.